All right, and now I'm going to bring up Jim Soper to the microphone. He's legislative expert.
I am Jim Soper. I'm author of a website called CountItisCast.org. I'm co-chair of the Voting Rights Task Force in Northern California. I've been at this since 2005. I am a geek, senior software consultant, formerly at Digital Equipment. I've been a programmer for both artificial intelligence and mobile apps, and you can see my email address at the bottom there. Please feel free to write me. JimSoper2 at gmail.com. S-O-P-E-R on the Soper. Insiders are the biggest threat. Yes, Russians or whoever are a new threat. I'm glad that it's getting publicity, but it's the people with the access, the programmers, the election officials, the poll workers who have easy access to these systems, and that's your biggest threat. I was told by Jim March Simpson, you know that the Debo machines were programmed by somebody with 23 convictions for embezzlement.
What?
In the Debo Gems software. I'm a programmer, and it's like, oh my God. And I immediately understood what that's about. They snuck in a bill into AB 840, which was originally about vote by mail signatures. But on August 24th, that's very late in the process, so I used the word snuck in the bill. Assemblymember Quirk asked the county election officials, who said, we want you to add in this little clause here. Oh, by the way, it's not controversial. Haha. And what it meant was that normally you have a 1% ballot. You're going to check all the ballots from 1% of the precincts in a county. And they said, you no longer have to include provisional ballots or vote by mail ballots that have to arrive at the county after Tuesday. They don't have to be in the order. We're talking about 30% of the ballots. 30% of 12 million ballots, 4 million ballots that are not going to be audited. And a registrar called Ray Lutz, who called me and said, what the hell's going on? I wrote people in Sacramento, and we had to put up a very quick fight for this to block it, and we did not succeed because the registrars are very, very powerful in Sacramento.
Michael Vu.
Again, your county, including LA, may audit all the ballots. But you have to go to your registrar and you have to go to your county supervisors and say, you got to audit those things or subject them to audits. Your county has the choice. Make that happen, please. Insiders are the biggest threat. Yes, Russians or whoever are a new threat. I'm glad that it's getting publicity, but it's the people with the access, the programmers, the election officials, the poll workers who have easy access to these systems, and that's your biggest. We're having an impact. If you get up and do things, you can have an impact. It's kind of like amazing. Here's a list of things where we've had an impact, including blocking 4 internet voting bills in California. This is the most dangerous thing we have to face is internet voting, smartphone voting. We blocked them. California's ground zero for this stuff. We had help from Republicans, by the way. So in 2018, we're looking at the risk limiting audit bill. We're coming out of 2018 with a very good coalition. We have much more clout than we did in January. So I think we're going to make some more progress here. You've got to have alliances. You've got to take the time to build up relationships, teamwork, perseverance, a lot of hard work. Do your homework, learn the rules of how Sacramento works or how your county works. Focus on the strategic issue, and of course, there's a lot of dumb luck. Insiders are the biggest threat. Yes, Russians or whoever are a new threat. I'm glad that it's getting publicity, but it's the people with the access, the programmers, the election officials, the poll workers who have easy access to these systems, and that's your biggest threat. And sort of to finish here, how do you start? 1, become a poll worker. Volunteer to become a poll worker. You're going to see how it looks from the inside. Organize your county. Both for the thing about the vote center and risk limiting audits, because risk limiting audits is also county optional. They don't have to do it, they may do it. Connect with others. And one last point here, in California we have a bizarre little thing called a civil grand jury. A civil grand jury is not a criminal one, it's civil. And if you can convince them that there was malfeasance going on in an election, you're going to have some damn good evidence. But if you can go to your county grand jury and convince them that something's up, they have the right to investigate. They have the right to subpoena. They have the right to do a lot of things that we don't. Keep that in mind. If you have good evidence, take it to them and see what you can do. And last, little quote from Josiah Bartlett: decisions are made by those who show up. So please, you showed up here, fabulous, continue to show up. Thank you. Insiders are the biggest threat. Yes, Russians or whoever are a new threat. I'm glad that it's getting publicity, but it's the people with the access, the programmers, the election officials, the poll workers who have easy access to these systems, and that's your biggest threat.